Hello everyone. So in our previous video, we discussed the problem of is subsequence, where we were given two strings. One was the original string, another was a sequence, and we need to find out that whether that sequence is actually a subsequence of that original string or not. So before going through this video, you watch that animation so that you get an idea that how we can find out that whether a sequence is a subsequence of any other string. So in this video, we will actually code the algorithm and will test its working in the main method. So before we start, in case if you are new to my channel, then please subscribe to my channel and click the bell icon so that you never miss any update. So here you can see that I have created one class as string_util, and inside that class we will be creating our method public static. We'll give it a name as isSubsequence. Now this method will take two strings. One is the original string, another is the sequence. So we need to find out whether this sequence is actually a subsequence of this string or not. So the return type would be a boolean. So in our previous video where we saw the animation, we actually used the two pointer technique where we created two pointers I and j. So I usually traverse the string and j traverse the sequence, and usually we traverse both from left to right, and we simply try to compare the character present at that particular index, which is being denoted by I and j, into their respective strings. So we provide a while loop, and inside this while loop we provide the condition as this while loop will go on till I is less than string's length and j is less than sequence length, because as we are traversing this two pointers from start to finish, if any of the pointer crosses the limit of their respective strings, we simply break from this while loop. So inside this while loop we simply compare the character at I and jth index of their respective strings. So here we do if char at I is it equal to sequence.char at j. So if they are equal, so here let's say if we take the string as A, B, C, D, E, and let's say we take the sequence as A, C and E. So here you can see that j starts from 0 and I starts from 0. So we are simply comparing the first element. If they are equal, it means we have found one of the character of the sequence into the original string. So we simply increment j by 1, because now we try to compare the next element into the original string, and after this if block we always increment I by 1 position, because we have matched this character with this character. Now C and E will be compared with the rest of the string. So in the next iteration you will see that B is compared with the C via this condition. So this condition comes out to be false because B is not equal to C. So we don't increment J, we only increment I, because there could be a possibility that C might come later in the string, because we are trying to find out the subsequence here. So we always increment I irrespective whether we have found our element or not, because if we have found our element here, Then we increment I because we have to compare the rest of the sequence with the rest of the original string, and if we don't find the matching character, which is here where we are comparing B with C, so this condition comes out to be false. So we try to only increment I because there could be a possibility that next character should match with the sequence character at jth index. So this loop goes on, and at the end what happens, either this condition comes out to be false or this condition comes out to be false, or both condition comes out to be false. So this while loop will terminate. So after this while loop will terminate, we simply return is j is equal to sequence.length or not. So why we are doing this is because, let's say if this condition comes out to be false, it means j is equal to sequence.length, which signifies that if j is equal to sequence.length, we have found our subsequence. We have found that this sequence is actually a subsequence of this string because we have traversed each and every element and we have found them to be true, and at the last increment of j it will actually reach to the sequence.length. So if j is equal to sequence.length, it means this sequence is actually a subsequence of our original string. And let's say friend, if we provide A, E, C, so this A would have matched with this A, this E would have matched to this E, and after that J would have remained to C because our original string would have been exhausted here, as I would have become equal to string.length. So at that moment of time, this condition would have come out to be false, which says that AEC is not a subsequence of ABCDE. So friend, this is the algorithm which help us in determining that whether any sequence is a subsequence of the original string or not. So now let's test its working in the main method. Here we will simply print is subsequence. Let's say we pass the string as A, B, C, D, E, and we pass A, C and E. If I run the main method now, you will see it came out to be true. Now let's say if I run it with A, E and C, so it came out to be false. So why? Because AEC, though it's present in ABCDE, but the order of elements which constitutes the property of subsequence is not matched. Here you can see C is coming before E, but here E is coming before C. Therefore this cannot be the subsequence of this string because the order matters in the subsequence. So friends, I hope you liked this video, and in case if you are new to my channel, then please subscribe to my channel. Thanks, have a nice day.